What's up everybody, Grinny Kami here, and this is my review for Bleach chapter 533, Everything But the Rain part 6. But before I start, I just want to say a few things first. I reached 80 subscribers there I think it was yesterday actually. It was when I was asleep anyway, that's all I know. I know 80 is not actually a lot of people, but you know, I'm happy enough I've actually made 80. I mean, I know a lot of people have made like hundreds to thousands in the few months they've been doing YouTube videos, but even the fact that I've met 80 is pretty cool to me. I mean, I did start in September, but I did stop making videos for a while and then restart until January, and I had 14 in January, so having 80 in April is good to me. It's pretty good. I also hit the 10,000 video view mark, which again to me is awesome, because 10,000 views means 10,000 people have viewed my videos. Well, not necessarily, it means people have, you know, watched one of my videos more than once. Maybe if people like my videos that much to watch them more than once, that's pretty cool. Most of it's probably just them replying to me, but you know, whatever. Anyway, on with the review. So the chapter starts off. Everybody is shocked at what happened after Misaki, you know, shot the hollow, and suddenly a big explosion is about to start. And as the hollow explodes, Ishin jumps in front of the way and basically saves Misaki. Ishin is injured on the ground, and then Ishin basically asks who she is, and she contemplates saying who she is. And then at the start of this flashback, we finally get that scene that started the flashback where Misaki mentions a Quincy. That's this chapter. So yeah, they finally meet this chapter. They speak this chapter, and it's pretty cool to see that. I mean, we were wondering what had happened to Ishin and why he was injured. Now we know why, so that's pretty cool. Straight after that, we go back to Aizen's lab, and Tosin is fucking pissed. I mean, he's seriously pissed at the failure of this, saying that if it blew up, it means it was a complete hollification. But the fact that it blew up means he don't have it anymore, because it was a waste basically to him. Gin, you know, he's just standing there, just not even speaking, just, you know, thinking to himself, probably thinking like what he's going to have for dinner or something, I don't know. Gin's crazy, which is awesome. But then Aizen basically says this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's, you know, it can be a good thing. He turns it positive. And well, we already know how it kind of turns out for Aizen in the end. I mean, he finds out how to make Hollow Shinigami, basically, give him Shinigami powers, as we've seen with the Arankar and the Espada and stuff. So Aizen is saying this is a good thing, not a bad thing. And then we switch over to Soul Society. Ishin has returned, and he's making his report to the head captain and all the other captains. However, Yamamoto is a bit suspicious, saying, he says, do you reckon there was nothing else to report? And then Ishin thinks about Misaki, and he's like, no, I can't tell him that. And then basically says, yeah, I'm sure there's nothing else to report. And then Mayuri just makes a joke saying it should be a serious law or a serious crime because he didn't bring back the body, which is typical Mayuri. As for the captains at this time, I reckon they'd be, you know, not the current captains, because I mean the visors weren't captains, but the original captains we saw at this point, bar Hitsugaya. It would make sense that it's only roughly 20 years ago. So yeah, I think that makes sense to have all the captains that we originally saw, except for Hitsugaya. Oh, I forgot to mention this actually, before going to Aizen's lab and Soul Society, Ryukin and Katagiri are there. We don't know if they either just arrived or they've been there the whole time. They basically say that Misaki is fine, there's no problems here, and then they leave. And then we switch over. We stay in Soul Society, I think, and we see Ishin basically just thinking about Misaki and how she was able to just come out and say that she was a Quincy, and he was pretty much saying that this is just the first Quincy he's ever met, and he basically says he hopes to see her again. So you can already see that the whole relationship is blooming already, even though they don't know each other's name, which is interesting. And then we switch over to Misaki, and she's at school, and she's talking to her friends, and they're making jokes saying that there's stuff going on between her and Ryuk, but then she denies it because they're cousins. So this confirms that they are actually cousins, and not just cousins in because she says auntie to Ryuken's mother, but we don't know if she was actually her aunt or just what she called her. But now we have confirmation that Ichigo and Uryu are in fact related. So that's pretty awesome. I think that makes them second cousins. So yeah, it's just pretty cool. There's going to be a lot of theories going on about that now. Yeah, and then basically when they go out, as they're making jokes, she's like, "Oh, there's no way I can do anything like that. My cousin, he is my cousin." And one of her friends just makes jokes saying, "I don't care if he was my cousin or not. It'd still make me, whatever." I'm not gonna say the word. But yeah, if you've read the chapter, you already know what I mean. So that was pretty funny. And someone bumps into Misaki, and she apologizes, and he says, "Oh no, it's okay. Don't worry about it." And then we see that it's Urahara. He is my cousin. And one of her friends just makes jokes saying, "I don't care if he was my cousin or not. It'd still make me, whatever." I'm not going to say the word. But yeah, if you've read the chapter, you already know what I mean. So that was pretty funny. And someone bumps into Misaki, and she apologizes, and he says, "Oh no, it's okay. Don't worry about it." And then we see that it's Urahara. So yeah, it was a pretty good chapter, I gotta admit. So yeah, my thoughts on chapter. So we see that Aizen says the Hollow was a dead Shinigami. I'm wondering, will this be the former 10th captain? So yeah, it was a pretty good chapter, I gotta admit. So yeah, my thoughts on chapter. So we see that Aizen says the Hollow was a dead Shinigami. I'm wondering, will this be the former 10th captain, or will it be someone else? Maybe a new person, maybe someone we know. Be interesting. Yeah, I think it could be the former 10th squad captain, or it could just be a random Shinigami that won't even get a name. Either way, it'd be interesting to find out. But I think it would be pretty awesome if it was the former 10th squad captain, because 10th squad's awesome. It's Gaia and Ishin now, so we need another badass captain. And if that Hollow was from that, man, that's gonna be cool. This would put Ichigo as like a top contender for like a 10th squad captain in the future. But I doubt that'll ever happen. If anything, he'd become captain of squad 13. Simply because of Rukia, or even squad 6, simply because of Renji and Byakuya. Or hell, even if Kenpachi does be captain of squad 11, who knows. But who's to say he'll even become a captain? That has nothing to do with the chapter, because Ichigo didn't even appear, so it has nothing to do with him. Well, it has something to do with him, but not him in particular. I just thought it was cool, so many characters appearing and getting to see the captains again is cool. Especially Yamamoto, considering he died. It's cool to see him back. What else could I say about this chapter? There wasn't a lot of action, but this chapter did not need action. It was well rounded. It was kind of like it's like it's turned into a romance manga, but we know it's not, because it's just a flashback and how Ichigo's parents met and basically got together, and why Ishin doesn't have his powers anymore, or didn't have his powers anymore. And I'm not sure if it ever explicitly explained that Misaki lost her powers. It was hinted at, I think, since she couldn't kill Grant Fisher, but I don't think it was ever specified whether or not she lost them. So I guess we're going to find that out too. What I didn't get was, when Ryuken and Katagiri were standing there, why did they look so depressed? Is it because they have a feeling that Misaki and Ishin may get together, or the fact that she's made contact with a Shinigami. I don't really know, but I think that's going to be interesting. I haven't seen many reviewers mention that yet. I've watched a few reviews and not a single person has mentioned the fact that they seemed kind of depressed, especially Katagiri. I wonder why. I think maybe she thought Raiken was in love with her or something like that, I don't know. But yeah, that's basically the whole chapter. There's not anything else to talk about, but I'll go on to my predictions for next week. Next week, I think we're gonna see the Visors next week. Maybe we could, maybe not definitely. It actually wouldn't make a lot of sense to bring them in now that I think about it. We will see more of Aizen next week for definite, and of course we'll see more of Ishin and Misaki. I think at the end of the chapter, either a new Hollow will arrive in Karakura Town, or Aizen Ginner Tosen will arrive. Probably, most likely a Hollow, possibly an Arankar, maybe Aizen. I don't know, because Ishin does have to find out one way or another that it is Aizen, because he knew it was Aizen when he was fighting him, and he was not surprised to see Gin there alive. Tosen was gone by that point. But yeah, he was not surprised to see Gin alive when he was fighting Aizen, so obviously he knew he was also the enemy. You know, technically he wasn't really an enemy, but he wasn't an ally either. But yeah, I think if anyone or anything is going to show up, it'll be at the very end of the chapter. It'll be the last page, and it'll be something badass looking probably. Probably another Hollow that looks very similar to the one we just saw. Or it'll be Grant Fisher. That would be an interesting one. I know we wouldn't really make too much sense, but I mean, how was Grant Fisher able to kill Misaki so easily? I mean, I get it if she lost her powers, but if she didn't, you know, they do have a bit more left to reveal before they can end this flashback arc, which so far has been amazing. Not one of these chapters has disappointed me. Not one of these. I don't think one of these chapters has gone below an 8 out of 10 for me, and this one's no exception. This one is a 9 out of 10. Why not a 10 out of 10? I just, although I liked it, I just think it would have been better to see more scenes of Ishin talking to the head captain. I think that would have been pretty cool. If we saw that, I definitely would have given it a 10 out of 10. But I mean, the amount we saw was good enough. Like, they could have added more to that. I don't know why this chapter was out late today, because I mean, usually I'd wake up and it would be out and I'd read it like immediately when I wake up, and then I'd forget what happens because I've just literally woken up and started reading it, so I'd have to go back and read it, you know, which is pretty cool, so I get to read it quite a few times. But I read it quite a few times anyway. So yeah, I wonder why it came out so late. I mean, all of the big three came out late: Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece. I understand Naruto, there was a bunch of hard pages and that for them to translate and, you know, clean up and all that, but Bleach I didn't really understand because there wasn't any big pages to kind of, you know, fix. But yeah, that's basically it on my thoughts for this chapter. So 9 out of 10. Next week something's going to show up at the end. If not, I don't know what the hell's going to happen, but either way, I'm looking forward to it. Really loving this flashback arc. It's we've all been waiting years for it. And I don't care how long it takes to go through. I don't even want to go back to the present time. I don't want to see the rest of them. I just want to see what happens here, because I just think this is going to be pretty badass. Yeah, sorry about the sudden stop there. My camera just decided to turn off, and I realised I was talking to myself for about 3 to 4 minutes without even realising my camera had gone off, even though I'm looking directly at it, and it makes noises when it turns itself off. So yeah, I was basically just talking to a wall for about 4 minutes. Now, I can't really remember everything I was saying, but basically I was saying another flashback arc. I don't know actually. Yeah. I don't think I actually got this part on video. I was saying that another good flashback arc would be the Quincy Massacre during the final fight. You know, Johabak explains it, or even just before the final fight. You know, I think it'd be interesting to see. Anyway, I can't remember the rest. I was saying I didn't really say too much. But yeah, 9 out of 10 for this week. This has been a really long, well not a really long, but a long chapter review, my longest to date, and I think it's pretty awesome. this chapter. It deserves a very long review anyway. Apparently 14 minutes wasn't enough before my camera decided to run out of memory and turn itself off. So I had to take that file, put it on my computer, delete the file, and record again. But yeah, enough of me rambling. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. This is Green Economy, and I'll talk to you later.